Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at challenge number 52, Magazine of Science Fiction Gaming. This promises to be a special bestiary issue for $3.50. We got Twilight 2000 Safari, Mega Traveler Contact, Hekar, and Star Trek Ferengi. Neat cover. Lots of different critters and animals on it. I like it. And the very first thing we have in the inside here is a magazine that covers the complete games industry as never before. Gamesman from Pegasus Publishing. I don't know that one. I'm not familiar with that one. If anybody knows anything about that, if you could leave it in the comments below. I really don't know that one. Challenge, Magazine of Science Fiction Gaming. Now 12 times a year. All the things that are covered in here. Sign me up. From Bloomington, Illinois, Game Designers Workshop. I like the challenge a lot. I miss this magazine. And then we have a fine table of contents. And this issue was published in 91. So, a brief lifetime ago. And then we have special issues, letters to the editor for challenge, a memo from the management, letters from our readers, an ad for Illuminati, the play-by-mail game of conspiracy and intrigue from Flying Buffalo, Scottsdale, Arizona, wildly popular card game by Steve Jackson Games, Illuminati play-by-mail. Twin Engine Gaming presents Out Time Days, a game of time travel, and Space Combat, a game of pure tactical combat in a rather unique environment. Both these brought to us by Twin Engine Gaming on San Jose, California. Going on Safari in Twilight 2000. Twilight 2000 was an interesting game. GDW really leaned into it, and challenge, it was almost always the first actual article. Played it a little bit. It was a good game. If I'm going to do a post-apocalyptic game, though, I'm going to play Game World. Just how I am. Then we have an ad for Air Power, the Journal of Air Combat Gaming. Newsletter for the serious air gamer with emphasis on GDW's air superiority and air strike. This is LaGrange, Georgia. Isaac Asimov's science fiction. This year, enter another dimension. Subscribe now and save. Isaac Asimov's out of Red Oak, Iowa. Nice magazine for you. Convention calendar, or calendar conventions, challenge conventions. Sorry, I should actually read the page, I guess. Various conventions you could have gone to in 91. I was a new dad when this issue came out, so I wasn't going to any gaming stuff. We are the future of play-by-mail gaming. The Next Empire from Cyborg Games. And they were out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Don't really know them. Mega Traveler, the science fiction role-playing game for the 90s and beyond. This is from Digest Group Publications out of Woodburn, Oregon. These guys had some outstanding stuff. The Flaming Eye, Valani Vargir, Starship Operator's Manual, excellent book. 101 Vehicles, and Mega Traveler Journal Magazine. Whoever is holding these and holding out for lots and lots of money, I'm letting you know. The clock is running. These are aging and aging rapidly. You probably want to get them out before the nostalgia factor is gone. Contact, the Hekar. Like the ancients, the Hekar were considered to be a vanished race. But they returned in force, an event scholars never considered possible. Could the ancients do the same? And if you're into Traveler in any kind of way, turn the volume down if you don't want a spoiler. But here's the spoiler. The ancients are very much with us. They're just very covert about it in Traveler. And it depends, of course, on your Traveler campaign. I ran an adventure with Grandfather back in the 80s, but I haven't done anything with the ancients since then. Ancient devices, yes. The ancients themselves, no. So I'm not too familiar with Hekar. I may be reading this after I finish this video. Nice long article for Mega Traveler. And here is Hekar's space near the Julian Protectorate. Okay. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I may have to sit down and read this. I may even take a look at them in a future video. Interesting. They originally appeared in articles by Eddie A. Akon, published in Between Worlds 5 and 6. This article was written with the kind assistance of members of the History of the Imperium Working Group, HIWG. With IHS's Rocco mini-tanks, half the battles won. International Hobby Corp out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Nice looking little minis. Mega Traveler from Seeker Game Systems out of Mountain Home, Idaho. I loved this stuff from Seeker. I have all those. I don't have these. I have Lords of Thunder. Consumer Guide I never saw. I don't know if that ever got published. And I don't know. I don't have this. I don't know if that ever got published. Seeker Game Systems kind of was going out in the 90s. Traveler News Service. I still miss TNS. Date 281-1121 takes us down to 352-1121. What's going on in the Imperium or the fragmenting Imperium by 1121? Lots of damage had been done already. And then we have Stalkers by Charles E. Gannon. It's a Stalkers are minor race maintaining a xenophobic state at the heart of the Hinterworld sector. Not too far from Hikar, people. This is for Mega Traveler. Pretty cool. I like theme issues like this. Paper Mayhem, the informative play-by-mail game. And they were out of Ottawa, Illinois, downstate Illinois. And then for more information on the Hinterworld, you can go to Challenge 39. Or the Traveler Map, they have it too. Dark Conspiracy, available now from Game Designers Workshop, Bloomington, Illinois. Dark Conspiracy is making a comeback under Mongoose. It's just supposed to be something offered later in the year. I don't know if it'll be a Kickstarter or just a book. I imagine it'll be a Kickstarter, but I don't know. Ned Neutron, Limos and Lizards. And it happened at the GDW table. A couple of fun little comic strips for you. Challenge Briefs. These are different events that were going on in 1991. We get to subscribe today to 2300 Resource, the quarterly journal for 2300 AD Gamer. 2300 AD is still very much around too. The Scroll, a quarterly publication dedicated to the world of role-playing gaming. $10 a year out of Portland, Oregon. These guys Resource was out of Santa Barbara, California. Things that go bump in the night. Oh, Lord, protect me from ghoulies and ghosties and long-leggedy beasties and things that go bump in the night. Old Scottish prayer. And this is for Dark Conspiracy. You don't want things going bump in the night in Dark Conspiracy. 2300 AD, Operation Backdoor. Played a little 2300 AD. It was called originally Traveler 2300. It was okay. But if I'm going to play Space, I'll play Traveler. Or Star Frontiers. Either one's good. Let's see. Enlist now for a new style of adventure. Cape Girardeau, Missouri is where 20th Century Tactical Studies Group was located. And then Share the Adventure, High Colonies. In 2188, You Are the Last Best Hope for Mankind, Waterford Publishing House, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Dwellers in the Dark. And this is Space 1889. Game I did not play. There you go. Nice long adventure for that. American Gamer, the newest gaming magazine, it wants to invite us to subscribe. They were out of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Not familiar with that one. We have the technology. We can rebuild you. Cyberspace from Iron Crown Enterprises. Yes, Cyberspace. I had this at one time. Actually, I think it was a buddy's that I had borrowed, but I do remember reading through this. There's some interesting stuff in there. Out of Charlottesville, Virginia. The Ferengi. For Star Trek. Yeah, the Ferengi. They were added with Next Gen in 87. I didn't like the Ferengi at first. They didn't make a good villain to my mind, but I came to love them with a Deep Space Nine, or as we called it, Deep Sleep Nine. But I did like the Ferengi, the use in there. Continuing our article for the Ferengi, we get Vortex, a new journal of science fiction and fantasy gamers. 1 year subscription, send $10 to Vortex Publishing in Emeryville, California. And then we have an ad for Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, the role-playing game. 2020, the Earth has been devastated by a geological catastrophe and billions died. Only survivors came out of a handful of shelters. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Bloomington, Illinois. GDW, I forgot GDW published that. Attack of the Ice Age Cyborg Kamikaze Holsteins. Okay, that's a lot to unpack right there. Some danger cows for you for Ghostbusters International. Okay. And then we have an ad for Denizen, 25mm science fiction figures. Hard to come by in the early 90s. Good science fiction figures. You had some, of course, from Games Workshop, but hard to come by just a little lead, or at this time I think it was all pewter. Urban Beasts for Nightlife. Not even familiar with Nightlife. Okay. GURPS Time Travel. Steve Jackson games. I never read Time Travel. I liked a lot of Steve Jackson's GURPS stuff. I read a lot of the stuff just because there's a lot of good idea food in the various GURPS books. The Night Was Fluffy. And this is the Floating Vagabond for Tales from the Floating Vagabond RPG. Not a game I ever played. Okay, continuing our adventure there. We go to Sandcats, a road gang for Dark Future. Cyberpunk, that kind of stuff. Big, early 90s. We get some sheets turned to the side. I'm not familiar with this game at all. And then, okay, we finish out that stuff. Southwest Inquirer, little headline. Kind of interesting stuff in here, but I don't know the game at all. And then The Beast of Boston. And this is for... what game? Beast of Boston. Police are baffled. I'm not sure what game this is for. M200E Combat Cyber Form. Don't know it. Ashes to Ashes, an ad for White Wolf. For Vampire. These guys are out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Cyberpunk is the game. Okay, it took them a while to get around telling us what game that was for. Never played Cyberpunk. Finishing out the adventure there, we go to Challenge Reviews. Galaxy Guide 6, Tramp Freighters. This would be for the Star Wars game when West End Games was still around, had the license. I played the West End Games Star Wars. It was fun, a lot of fun. Finishing out that article, we go to GDW Product Distribution. Yes, round the world. Even then. And then Challenge Classifieds. If you were looking for something to buy or sell pre-internet, this is the way to do it. And then Gulf Crisis, no fantasy, no magic, just the real world. Can you bring peace to the Middle East? And Voyages SF, can't get enough ideas for your campaign. It's a quarterly, highly illustrative magazine. And it was out of Mesa, Washington by Starlance Publications. And then we get the feedback for this issue. You can fill this out and send it in. Feedback results from issue 50. And then what's coming next issue. Twilight 2000 Naval Rules. Mega Traveler Nautical Vessel Design Rules. 2300 Wired Society. Space 1889. And more. And an ad for Renegade Legion. The Airland Battle of the Future. Interceptor, Centurion, Leviathan, Legionnaire. 4 different box games. Very different play style from Fast out of Chicago, Illinois. I love Renegade Legion. I especially enjoy Centurion and Leviathan. Centurion is all tanks, hover tanks, grav tanks, and then Leviathan is capital ships. I found Interceptor confusing. A lot of people love it, I know. And then Legionnaire is the role-playing aspect of it. And then we have the new game for a new generation, Cosmic Encounter from Mayfair Games, out of Niles, Illinois. So north suburbs of Chicago. So there you have it. Challenge number 52. Pretty good issue, actually. A lot of good Traveler content in this issue, which is what I'm always in for. Let me know what you thought. If you enjoyed Challenge Magazine way back in the day, and the Traveler stuff they brought to the table. That's why I miss a magazine like this. In between offerings and such, you would get offerings for the games you were playing, a la Dragon Magazine or Challenge. I do miss having something like this come out, and to look forward to for every month. There aren't some quality games out there, or game magazines still out there being published online. There are. It's just I hold nostalgia for these. But that's all I've got to say today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave comments below, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends. Let's grow the channel. And let me know anything else that you might want to see in the channel. Also, please take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. But that's it for today on page 121. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.